Let's go.
Said it's your boy, P Original, Mr. Influential. Hot topic conversation, stimulate your mental. Two cool brothers, same father, same mother. If you're looking for a show like this, you'll never find another. Why? Cause it's the Porch Podcast to come on. Yeah, said it's the Porch Podcast. Yup, said it's the Porch Podcast to come on. Yeah, said it's the Porch Podcast.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy, DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
Be original, baby. Welcome back, y'all. You know, as we say each and every week, you know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And we appreciate you. New week.
New episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How about that?
Feliz Navidad.
Yup, Feliz Navidad. You know.
Happy Hanukkah, the ones
all
who celebrate
everything,
Hanukkah,
man.
everything, man.
You know, hopefully you had a great holiday with the family. You know what I mean? Hopefully you were able to get some time in and just kick it with them.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's a good thing there. How was your week? How was your holiday?
Good. No complaints, man. Chill, just chilled, relaxed. You know,
Like you said, chill. I told y'all, man. He's a real DJ. Yeah, got you. How was your week? He right into it, Joe. Yes, sir. You know what's crazy is he you know, sometimes he wants to be off, and even when he's off, he's off.
When I'm off, I'm off.
Yeah,
But if nothing changes,
nothing changes.
here we go.
So go ahead, man. How
Great
was
week, man. I relaxed. I got
Holiday
to
and
watch a little
everything.
football and ate and just kicked it with family, man. Just relaxed. That's
Yeah.
it.
Sometimes a little bit of nothing
Is
means a whole
everything.
lot. It's everything. It's
Yeah.
everything. So I can dig it. Same with mine, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got some time really like you just kicked it with the family. You know what I mean? The whole Christmas experience. It was nice getting up Christmas morning, you know, having breakfast together. You know, we don't always get to, it's the simple things like meals and stuff like that we don't always get to get. So that was dope. You know what I mean? Everybody scheduled me in what it was. Good day watching, like you said, a lot of football, Stranger Things, you know. I know you might not be into that, but it was dope. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
Just to
I
spend the
never
time.
watched it, but I hear it's a good show.
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
I believe it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what's been going on with that. Interesting quote, man. We ain't did a quote of the day in a while.
Okay.
And I saw one today that was pretty much, I think, in connection to, yeah, we can do that first, though, too. Right here, real quick, man. Want to toast, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, once again, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You know what I'm saying? Bob, you know, we do. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Want to point this out, man. Quote of the day right here. A man who views the world at 50 years old the same way he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to be part of the premise of the conversation tonight. A man who views the world at age 50 the same way he did at age 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. Muhammad Ali. Leads me into tonight's conversation. I'd like to lead it off with a question for you, my brother. The question is this. Did our blessed, I'm going to start there first and foremost. Shout out to Mom and Pop, first and foremost, to the bang-up job, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Did our blessed upbringing, in your opinion, prepare us, right? Did it prepare us? I want to make sure I'm asking it right. Or did it delay us from our goals?
Prepared.
And you're just 100% sure about it. Like you can go right into it. Like you definitely know that our upbringing prepared us for our goals. Okay, you can't elaborate on that situation because I want to dive into that situation. Like, the reason why I'm asking you that question.
Mom and Pop was the introduction to everything.
Okay.
Whether they understood it or not.
Right.
It was up to us to actually follow through and want to learn more about it. So,
Okay.
for example, when you're in school,
Mm-hmm.
when you're in, let's just, any grade, let's just go, when you're in 8th grade,
Okay.
And you
Fine.
and you get
Okay.
ready to go to ninth grade, which is considered high school.
Yep.
A lot of times your teachers say, I'm trying to prepare you for high school.
There you go. Yep. Those words verbatim
Yeah.
more often than not. Yep.
But if you pay attention, every grade is preparing you for the next grade.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Right. Which makes sense.
So that it prepares for our goals, yes, because one thing their preparation did is teach us that we can do anything we wanted to. We control our limitations.
Okay.
So a lot of times you might have some children that come out and mimic their parents completely.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then you'll have some that mimic things that they do, but step aside and do other things themselves.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Perfect example. We didn't fly till we were adults.
Right.
Because our parents didn't like flying.
Right. So some of their limitations
At the
at time were our limitations anyway, because we had to follow them anyway.
We had to follow them anyway. But if we would allow that to, because the question was prepare us or
In our blessed upbringing, prepare us or delay us from our goals.
right. The moment we started moving on our own, we both got right on the plane.
Okay.
Because it prepared us to understand that even though we need to follow the lead, we understand roles.
Mm-hmm.
We got to follow the lead of our parents and honor them, because the Bible tells you if you honor your mother and father, your days will be long.
Shall be longer, right? Mm-hmm.
So we honored that anyway. Respected everything they did.
Right.
But we knew right away when we were going to be on our own,
Mm-hmm.
we was doing things that we wanted to do and try the things we wanted to try.
Of course.
So it prepared us.
Okay.
And what people understand is, and this is where misconception a lot of people sometimes don't see, just because you get prepared for something
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you're going to pass it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can still fail
Absolutely.
because we got to learn from failure.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I would say all day they prepared us, because anything we wanted to do in life, bro, that was part of our dreams, started when we started pursuing it.
Right. Right. So
Regardless of whatever age you was.
So the options in that situation, which you explained it, you know what I mean, was preparation or delay. Did it prepare us or delay us?
Mm-hmm.
We came to crossroads with certain things, right?
Right.
Like you said, they had a little bit of a, and I use the term loosely, but a fear of flying,
Yeah.
right? Because they had a fear of flying, at some point or another, once we got of age to be able to control that thing that you're talking about, we had to make a decision on whether or not we was going to allow their fear, right, to deter us from being able to go and try to fly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So preparing us indirectly sometimes happen because others' limitations change our expectations, right? Sometimes a person may look at it, they may show you certain things that they have a little bit of apprehension against. But for you, your curiosity is enough to be able to say, well, I never seen them fly. Why would they feel that way? I never done it. What experience led them to that conclusion? I think sometimes, though, unbeknownst to us, when you're growing up, right, because we're parents now, you know, I don't know if they ever sat back and one day sat and said to themselves, Mom and Pop, like, yo, you know, we scared to fly, but should we really be like letting them know we scared to fly, because that may have a negative impact on them in life? And man, we just talking about flying, but what other things could that spill into, right? Because like you said, everything in school, grade school, every one of those experiences was preparing you for the next grade. So in that situation, in the question that I'm asking you, in that particular situation that you're using with flying, what was it preparing us for? To be limited to travel? If we couldn't drive?
That's what
If we couldn't think?
if we followed that. But I think wording means a lot,
Right.
because Mom and Dad never, even though we know,
Mm-hmm.
never said, I'm scared to fly. What they said was, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
We flew back in the day and made
Yep.
your dad sick.
Yep.
They never said they were scared.
Right.
We knew
Right.
that it was some fear there.
Right.
Even if you look at it as a reverential fear, where they respect
It's respect of it.
It's respect
Yeah.
of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's respect everybody who do it,
Absolutely.
but I don't mess with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
things that I know we all have. I've never seen Pop scared of anything.
Right.
But
Me either.
I know
Yeah, never. That's
you
crazy.
sit and think about it.
Shout out to Pop.
Right. We've never seen him afraid of anything. But
Nothing.
we've seen mom afraid of
course,
of
certain things, cats, and stuff like that.
Cats was the main
terrified.
thing. Yeah. So it's a
Jump up
difference
on the table,
between
like scared. Yeah.
fear and respect, like we say all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it was a fear thing, even though we knew it was a fear, but we knew the difference. We understood the difference of fear, right? Mm-hmm. If it was a scary fear thing, we would have never tried it.
Yeah, I mean, I
can't say never, but we wouldn't have been as gun-ho to want to do it.
So our influences come from a lot of different ways. I just use that question because of the fact that most of our influence came from our parents.
Right, no, absolutely, yeah.
Then we got to our own level of independence. I only ask that because, like you said, we're parents, we're fathers. So as fathers, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that Pop wasn't mindful of the things, or, Mom, of course, wasn't mindful of the things that they were showing us, but did it prepare us? Right? And so my thing is does that carry on to other thinking in life, right?
Right.
Other limiting expectations or other things that may occur that we don't even realize where it may have come from. In our case, bro, we already knew that we weren't going to be limited by, our ability, by our parents not being comfortable with flying. We already knew. Like, yo, I want to see the world. The world is big, bro. I'm not just running up and down.
I want to go to an island.
Yeah. Like we knew, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to experience these things. We just so happened. In my case, I can only speak to that. I happened to marry a woman who was aware of some of those things that our parents was dealing with, and it made it her business right from the giddy up. Like, yo, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna
do it our way.
We're gonna do it this way, and we're gonna get past this early in the game.
My ex back in the day,
correct,
same way. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
clearly.
Like you know what I'm saying? On the plane,
right? So they understood where we came from.
Yeah,
and that's why I said I wanted to lead the question with our blessed upbringing, because we didn't have a horrible upbringing.
Oh,
but limiting factors exist even in good situations.
Yeah.
That's the point that I wanted to get to. Sometimes we're more, we're so off. We don't understand that there's an alignment and an assignment.
But I think, again, at the same time, it comes from the way of wording of things.
Yeah.
Because I always understood that Mom and Pop respected flying, but they didn't like it.
Yeah.
They never said, I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, because when you use it, because, bro, just think about it. We've known that, like, you can't remember the age you was when you realized Mom and Dad didn't want to fly. We just knew that our whole life.
Yeah.
You can't think it wasn't like a conversation or nothing. You just knew.
It wasn't an option.
No, you just
it wasn't an option. It wasn't even going to be a consideration.
I don't want to be in a car. I want to always be on the plane.
Well, that's why I think that limiting factors indirectly occur a lot of times because of the way other things are rolled out. That's what I'm saying. I just think that there's certain things we wind up cheating ourselves of. You understand what I'm saying? So certain things that we look up and be like,
because it's rolled out again, wording rolled out again. This how the fact that you're using the word rolled out. If I would have heard them say they was afraid of it, I probably wouldn't have never wanted to do it.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Like a lot of things. Like you look up, even we talk about swimming sometimes, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You look up and you say, "Wow." A person might ask me, "Well, P, how did you wind up learning how to swim?" I saw my friends swimming and doing things that looked fun, and I wasn't going to let my limiting understanding or ability prevent me from at some point or another learning the skill and ability to swim to be able to, to be a part of it. Sometimes people have that ability to do it, but it all depends. Like you said, I never seen Mom and Pop swimming. Once again, that was another situation where it wasn't, I had to make a decision at some point in my life. I was a teenager still living home. I could have easily became a tenor. My parents don't swim. I ain't trying it.
But that's why I seem like, first of all, I have a reverential fear for water.
Right.
I understand it.
Understand it.
But that's why I realize, and this is a perfect example of what you're saying. I can remember being young and going towards the pool and Mom being fearful of me going to the pool to the point where she got so scared that it made me like, I don't ever want to touch that.
Even though she never said the words.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's the point where I'm going. In our actions, it may be one day look at them was like, wow, maybe I never said, but do my actions show a different thing?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm using those for an example in my perception, right? And I could remember Mom and Pop's energy. Well, I'm gonna just use Mom. Okay. Mom's energy, talking about flying.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't like it. But you can see like I ain't getting on that, but to each his own. Against when I went near the pool and she, get it. Like she was afraid. So that intel made me afraid of it.
I watched the impact of it even with my daughter, where mom had a thing where she was allergic to bees.
Yeah.
Her fear of being stung by a bee is because it could potentially do a lot of harm to her.
Right.
When my child seen her grandmother jump from bees, it transferred to being her thought.
Yeah.
Well, if grandma's scared of it,
I gotta be.
I gotta be.
Yeah. And she doesn't understand. She's done that.
She's done that. So
She's
you
done that.
understand where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
So at some point or another, you say, wow, even if we don't turn around and say it, are we displaying it?
Now, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Everybody's not going to have that impact. Do you
Right.
think you got to have a very high level of respect to understand that for that influence to impact you like that for that person?
Yeah, you have to rank pretty high in a person's life.
Yeah, I
You do.
believe
You
that.
you do have to. Yeah, because I don't think everybody's
Yeah,
limitations, so to speak. We won't call them all fears because they're not all fears,
Right.
but the limitations are going to have the same
That's deep.
impact. No,
Yeah.
no. I think who you are. This is why I started with the question with parents. I think who you are definitely plays a role in that.
right.
But there's a lot of things that went on around us, man, like I talk about in right now in life, in terms of, like, for instance, social media. There's things that support some of those things still now. Got a fun question for you. Or maybe a fun, this is what I gathered from what I'm going to say to you.
And I got a little fun question to talk about flights when you get done.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's 3 games. It's probably more, but there's 3 games that jump out to me that set the tone for how people in social media are connected in this day and time. It was 3 games that jump out to me that we played as children that connect that social media and the level that it has in our life and the impact it has in life. You know what those 3 games are?
Monopoly.
Or give me, or a better question, give me your 3 games. No, because you may have make a point with your 3 games that I may have missed.
Okay,
so what's your 3 games?
What connection?
That connects us. I'm saying social media and the impact that it has on our lives to this day. 3 games that jump out to me that make that connection that we played as children that kind of groomed us to pay attention to that social media thing and the impact that it has on our lives today.
Actual games.
Yep. And if you got 3, you tell me your 3, I'll give you my 3.
And you're not talking about sports. You're talking about games.
Right.
Spades, Monopoly, and it's only 2 I got.
Okay. Why Spades and Monopoly? Why were those 2 selections for you?
Well, spades always, I think with growing people with spades is actually partnership. Trust. You got to have a blind trust. And in life, we got to have a blind trust and belief that we can make something happen because you start off with a bid.
Right.
And it also shows that you got to be realistic with yourself. You know you can't go wheels if you ain't got no speeds. You got 2 speeds. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people, you got to understand, but if you understand with a plan that you take what you got, that's why we always make the statement, we play the hand that we were dealt.
Okay, very good.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
That's why.
I see what you're doing. Yep.
And Monopoly is just exactly what the word is, Monopoly. It shows you, it's the ultimate investing game. Because see, one thing people always say all the time, everybody aren't investors. Right?
No.
But you'll hear a lot of people say they want to be rich.
Yeah.
And everybody's not going to hit the lottery or make it to the league.
Yep.
But you think about it, you can become rich if you follow an investment strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say that.
So I'm going to say my 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once again, to reiterate the situation, I believe there are more games than that. But these 3 games, to me, make the connection between our impact on the things that we started when we played these games when we were younger and social media and the impact of it today. Okay. Follow the leader. Just play a game, follow the leader. Tag and hide and seek. Now, following the leader, do I have to really go into the detail element of it? That's what we live in the world today. That's everybody wants to do that, right? Everybody's looking for a leader to follow at some point or
It's
another.
literally called followers.
It's literally called followers, right?
Yeah.
Tag. Did you tag me in this? Did you make sure you tag me in this? See, now the concept is you want to be it. The name of the game when we were younger is you didn't want to be it.
Yeah.
Because the name of the game back in the day was try to elude as many people and not be tagged. Now we live in a world where you want to be tagged. You need to be it, so to speak. So we got follow the leader. We got tag and hide and seek. Why hide and seek? Well, usually everything that we need in life in terms of what's going on is hidden. It's hidden. You got to seek out the things. They'll show you a lot of different things. Smoke and mirror, you don't understand everything until you start to. And then once you start to identify with what those things are, you discover it. Wait, All they did with social media was take the games we played as children and create that concept up into what it is today. And now we can get all the games being played at one time in different locations right on our devices.
And all of that is for what?
All of that is, in my opinion, just to control, just to manipulate your thoughts, to limit you. Remember, the conversation was about limitations, right? See, mom and pop, great source of information, right? Grandparents, great sources, aunts, uncles, all these people, phenomenal sources of information. But even they had their limitations. And within the limitations, you had to still have some level of saying, you know what? I'm not going to be limited by that situation later. You don't have to use the word fear, false evidence appearing real, but there is a certain level of limitations that you do have to say, yeah, I ain't going to be limited because I want to do this in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, we all on the move, y'all. I got something for y'all today that's going to make you go wow when you see it. I got something that, because you got to travel anyway, you're on the move, whether it's business or leisure or whatever it may be, right here. Right here. Super dope bag from a super dope company called Ugly Duckling. Makes men and women apparel, you know, top-notch stuff, quality stuff. Let me stop talking about it and let y'all see the bag. That's really what you want to see anyway, right? First off, can we talk about how I come in a nice little netted bag here? You know what I mean? I think that's pretty good. Logo on the front right here, Ugly Duckling. Can we look at the quality of the stitching? Look at the stitching, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now you check this out. You see how you got the white, the swan? Yeah, that's nice, right? We're going to take our time. We're going to turn around and hit it with this right here. Bam! See that on the back? They ain't spare no expense. Bam! Look at this in the back. Huh? I didn't put that on there. That's part of it, bro. That's part of it. That's part of what it comes with. Look at the style. They want to make you... Ugly Duckling. Oh, Ugly Duckling. Yeah, that's who made this right here. Yeah, uglyduckling.com. Oh, yeah, got this and a whole bunch of other stuff. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I ain't gonna keep no secrets from y'all when I find a company that do it right. Huh? It's only right that I share this with y'all. So you make sure, if you in the market right now for some top quality apparel, i.e. look at my Young Vet Salute, Jersey Cat apparel, and now, Ugly Duckling. Make sure y'all go check them out, man. Check that website out. I'm telling y'all, man. You're gonna love it. All right? That's all I got to say about that. But make sure y'all go to today for this bag and all the other super dope stuff they got. Y'all be good. I got a trip I'm on. I see y'all later. Get y'all bag. I got mine. Peace, man. Woo.
Years ago, you said all they did was take the game and they flipped it. You just made a dope statement that said you didn't want to be tagged, but now you want to be tagged because now you want to be it.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why we had so many limitations back in the day is why, in your opinion, back in the day before social media, why were we limited?
Limitations?
Yeah.
We're making it universal. Like, I need an example.
So we would be, I just said, in my opinion, what it is.
Okay.
We would be limited back in the day because we didn't have the knowledge of something.
Okay.
We didn't have the understanding.
Okay.
We didn't know about it.
Okay. I get it.
Right?
Yep.
So even when you said, like you said, we got to go high and seek real things that we now. But however, we have all the knowledge in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Way more. But now, guess what the limitation is?
Talk to me.
You sitting still. Because
Okay.
in order to be glued into it, you got to scroll. And most people, when they scroll,
Yeah.
they learning everything.
Yeah.
Laughing, seeing everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew that already.
Yeah.
Not applying anything
Yeah.
because they'd rather do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy. Did you see the video? But not applying anything because they'd rather do this. This is what a limitation is.
Yeah.
They flipped it. See, back in the day, we would say because we ain't had the knowledge. Now we have the knowledge, but we're not moving.
Okay. Okay.
We're not
have more
attempting.
access.
We have way
More
access.
knowledge. Absolutely.
Yeah, way more.
But yet the
But-
limitations still remain.
Yep, and not applying. And then because
Right.
everybody want to be tagged and be it,
Yeah.
we all not being original. We all doing the same things.
Yeah.
Thinking that, oh, this person got a podcast and they got millions. I'm gonna get millions.
Yep.
I'm gonna get this. Oh,
Yep.
this person did.
Yep.
And I'm not saying for people not to do what they want to do because we do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps you away. I'm not knocking people
Not at
because
all.
the ones that are making stuff happen aren't sitting with limitation,
No, they're not.
right?
No, they're not.
They're applying it.
They're limitless.
Yeah, they're limitless. They're applying it. They're doing
Absolutely.
everything they want to do,
Absolutely.
which is the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All for what?
at some point or another, it was funny because I thought about those games and I said, wow, they took the games that we played as kids and we wouldn't notice it, right? Because a lot of what if you keep the game the same, we're not going to notice when the rules is changing.
Yeah.
It's things that's going on, right? And it started making me look at it and say, all right, so cool. I want to be my best me, but I want to do it based on what's acceptable by society, right? So that's limiting right there within itself. Because like a person like Waller would say, you know what I mean? You too worried about not being cool to other people to be the whole you.
Right.
You too worried about breaking it, you know what I mean? Making sure that you don't look out of place or odd. But I don't know if you noticed, but most of the people who getting to where they want to get to in life look out of place and odd in most cases. It's the same thing.
Because at the same time they don't look like they it. But then at the same ones who do notice that it's out of place and odd, they'll do the wild things to get your attention.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
I sure do.
But to catch on to the games like you just caught on. Now that you know the game, you already know the rules.
You already know the rules.
Be the best.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But I think that it's a lot of self-reflection.
And stay away from powder. That's all you gotta do.
That close, man.
We still right here.
Why would powder be involved? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Do you watch Force? Do you see what's happening?
I do watch Force, but you know what I'm saying? He all day long. This guy's been giving out great information and telling people to stay away from things. It's just the timing of it is impeccable. You know what I mean? No, the situation about the games, man, and limits. Like
limits.
I think this is the point. Like I said, the original thing that I was talking about within the framework of asking that question about were we prepared or were we delayed? I think that preparation, which brings me to a concept of understanding, being in alignment with the assignment, right? At some point or another, we have to look at ourselves and say, wow, we can't blame the past, but for so long for where we want to go into the future.
Absolutely.
Yesterday's limits, and when I say yesterday, obviously I mean years ago, you can't keep using them as an excuse to not be what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep looking at the fact that, well, my people were scared of this, or they had some apprehension, about certain situations, or they was a little bit, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you said, had that referential fear about certain things. Wow, man, how does that apply now? Okay, maybe that was your upbringing. And yeah, we couldn't get on the plane when we was kids because, first off, we couldn't afford it, right? Whenever we wanted to go someplace, they made it convenient. They drove us. We had other ways to get to these places. It wasn't like we didn't move.
Right.
And I think sometimes, like I said, the killer of greatness is goodness. We did enough things in life where it was good. Yeah. We can look around and see our homies,
was great.
man. It was great.
Yeah.
But you look around and you see yourself just slightly above certain other things in life.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and it's fine, don't get me wrong, but I want to make a solid point on this. We can get just above okay to good and feel like we're in a wonderful position. Not realizing sometimes that it's starting to set limiting factors on our lives.
Not to say I believe we're in a wonderful position, but we just have to understand that it's more. If you want,
I like that.
If you want,
I like that.
And that's the thing. Some people, bro, they're great in their mind and their perception. Yeah. That's their great.
Remember how you asked that question about does it matter the person?
Right.
We have people that we're directly connected to as we come up that mean the world to us. You know what I mean? We kind of we cherish the ground that they walk on, so to speak. The words that the sun sets and rises on their words and the things that they're doing. At some point or another, we become grown, and we start to be around other people who don't have that level, or those people begin to change. Those are the people that you start to look towards now. The people on the social media who you don't know anything about personally, and we look at them and say, "Yo, I want that life," right? You don't see their fears, you don't see their worries, you don't see their concerns. All you see is their achievements, which can be for some people good because it removes the limiting factors. My thing is at some point or another, because we're fathers and we're still grooming our children, if we could kind of catch it now,
That's what I was about to say. Well, see,
It's a little bit different,
here's-
especially because we got to go against social
But
media,
here's
to
the
which we
thing.
didn't have to worry about that shit.
Here's the thing too.
Uh-huh.
You know, what we gotta understand is it's just a different form of motivation of what it is, because
Okay.
everybody's goal is for their children to do better than them. But the difference is, when we were young, our parents only had limited information. Then we had limited information,
Mhm.
and we're a part of the internet, so we understand this now. So that's why we feel the way that we feel. But then what's scary is when you look at the generation that we're raising.
Mm-hmm.
This has always been their life. So now you'll say to yourself, to a lot of them, what's their excuse? But they're comfortable. Their great is great. Some of them is great is just be able to get Chick-fil-A off DoorDash and nobody call them for a little bit.
Right. Right.
Their houses
Okay.
are better than houses we, not necessarily that we live in, but love is here. They got everything they need.
Uh huh.
They do. So some of them, they're doing their great now. And in their mind is, what's better than this?
So once again,
It's on us to show them. I know that.
and once again, the question: Are we preparing them, or are we delaying them?
It's hard for me to answer that question because I can't rate myself. I would say all day that I'm preparing them, but I can be delaying them because it's how they receive it. But it's still on us to adjust. Like I kind of like the conversation I was having with the quarterbacks and the OCs last night, right? But to get back to what on topic of what we're saying right here is the question you asked me originally was, in our blessed upbringing, were they preparing us? Yes, I believe they were preparing us.
Okay.
But are we preparing? That's the goal. But they would have to tell us that. You know what I mean?
Because like you said, I think each set of parents or each generation of parents
Want the children to do better than
right.
them.
To me, the way that I see that situation is that the limitations have to be removed, right? So I never asked Pop or Mom why they didn't get in the pool. I never asked them those questions. I never asked Pop, well, why don't you like to fly? I never asked those questions. They led their conversations with a story about flying to Kentucky or something like that, ripping up the tickets and being done with
somewhere over
it.
there.
One of those kind of situations.
Yeah.
That's what we got. So when you told us about how many
Filling
bags
up
you had
the
to use,
bag.
exactly,
Yeah.
you painted a picture of, oh my God, I don't want to, if you see where I'm going with it.
So here's the difference, though. I don't know how you seen it, but in my mind, I was like, well, that don't mean it would happen to me. The entire time.
Which to me, not
The
to be
entire
funny,
time. Yeah.
was the saving grace for you.
Yeah.
Because in that real time moment, you said,
Yeah.
that might not be my experience.
But the only thing different when it comes to the whole swimming in the pool shit is I literally remember Mom getting scared. And because she got scared, I got scared. Because I was like 2-3 years old. I remember going, what about the... And she, that ain't... And I'm like, almost probably crying. You know how it is when you look like, why you scared?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Why you...
And the messed up part about it is later on in your life, guess what you got to try to overcome?
That fear.
And it was a limit that was put
Fear.
on you, and it was a limit that was put on you by another person's fear.
Well, most of the time, fear is planted from people like that.
I agree with that.
Your fear is planted.
I agree, especially early on. And that's my thing. I want to be very mindful, not only of my family, not only of my children, but that the scent that I put out there is not from a place of limit.
Right.
I want to be the type of person where if I'm around you, you see me moving from a limitless perspective.
Right.
A person that's very confident in not only their ability, but their reason for being here in the first place.
Absolutely.
A person that understands that the things that I learned yesterday, if they're not working for today, I'm open enough to learn about how to make it work in a better tomorrow. Once again, goodness is the killer of greatness. Most people can't even remember certain things that went on in their life, but they impacted them and they're ingrained into their DNA, their mindset, the way they think, the way they approach certain things. We had a conversation about things that you don't enjoy, just in general, people, period. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. Tried it. It's not my thing. At some point or another, you had to get through all of that to get to that conclusion.
Now, if you built that conclusion based off somebody else saying, nah, that ain't the move, you go, yeah, that ain't the move, you might just rob yourself from an opportunity to be super great in life. That's the only thing that bothers me sometimes.
When you don't try it.
Yeah, because like you said, fear is taught, being limited is. You know what I mean? Limitations are also taught, and that's a different situation.
I seen Will Smith saying it. I'm always quote this man in his interview. He said in an interview a while ago, I forgot who was interviewing him, that our greatest, something like it's on the other side of our fear. Our greatest joy.
Yes, on the other side of fear.
Yeah. He said, and it goes back to, the book that we're both reading right now.
Mm-hmm.
The
Way of the Superior Man. Awesome book. If you get a chance, fellas. I mean, ladies, you can watch it, but read it too. But I think, fellas,
it's for everybody.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah.
But I'm highly recommending it to the fellas.
Fellas definitely need to. But he even.
But it's open to anybody. It doesn't belong just to the fellas.
He wrote it for everybody, but fellas, because it's we going not necessarily say it's a reality check, but if you be honest, see that's the thing about reading. You gotta be honest with yourself when it relates, and see yourself and say, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
this is a different approach. I never seen it."
And then understanding first and foremost, identifying with you and your own hang-ups, apprhensions, the things and your limits,
and also your passions and
your passions based on the book.
And what you good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your purpose.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, I can't remember what chapter, whatever, but it's definitely a part in there that said, if a man never finds his purpose, he's wasted his entire life.
Yeah, once again.
Yeah.
From the Muhammad Ali quote.
Yeah.
The man that thinks at 50 the same way that he basically viewed the world at 50 years old, if he still views it at 20, at 20 years old the way he did at 50, you know what I'm saying? Let me get it right, y'all. The man who views the world the same way at 50 as he did when he was 20 years old,
there we go,
has wasted 30 years of his life. So when you think about the situation from the perspective, once again, that rolled my question out there, even if you were taught, groomed, raised to feel this way, indirectly or directly, and you still feel that way at this point, you have lived in some type of limiting factor for your adult life. And at some point or another, when you make the statements of wanting to make sure that you want your kids to have better for themselves than you have for you, well, if what you're showing them is a primitive mindset in the sense that you still think the same way 30 years later, how are you preparing them for the future?
Right.
If you can't even keep up with the now. I can't groom my child to be better for the future if they look at me and say, Dad, you know what I mean? I want to show you something about investments. Man, I don't look at that. I'm not into that. Okay, so you already shunning or shooting down a situation you know nothing about. But you saying that you want better for me. I ain't trying to be funny, Pop, but not to be funny, but I already kind of got better than you. And I'm here at this point.
Yeah. I
want now at this point to use the things that I got great for me to bring you up, Pop. Or up, Mom. So, it's just a situation that's based on limiting factors, man. I just think that we deal with them a little bit differently.
And it depends on what you is. Wealth, when I say wealth is more than money, okay? Wealth is, they say health is wealth. Being healthy, being joyous and satisfying in life. So wealth comes in many different forms. And it's in everybody's family. Mm-hmm. Everybody's family. Someone is the chosen one.
Okay. I've heard that.
You understand what I'm saying? LeBron is the chosen one in his, okay? Jay-Z is the chosen one in his.
Okay. Now these gentlemen are the chosen ones because they have had success?
Success is part of it.
Okay.
But we got to understand that success is something that people look up to. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
But what I mean about wealth, just like fear is planted, so is greatness. So if a person is looking up to these people because these people have found their purpose, see, their purpose wasn't necessarily to be rich.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that's rich as them that you don't know.
Yeah.
Their purpose was to be rich and successful in their areas.
Okay.
Because of entertainment, whether it's sports, whether it's rapping or just being
Whatever
a
it
business
is.
mogul, whatever it is.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
You look at Gilly and Wallow. They were the chosen ones in their family. You look at a person like Jadakiss. I'm just using people that got,
So it's not based. So it's not solely based on the wealth,
no. It's
because
just-
there may be somebody in their family that's more wealthy than them. I don't know them.
exactly.
But
But when I say
would we
wealth,
say that they're the chosen one?
yeah, but what I'm saying, because we see them, that's why I can feel this way. I'm feeling this way.
Okay.
Definitely part of it.
Okay.
But also what I'm saying is because it comes in multiple ways.
Okay.
Wealth is it's not just that they got money and they're successful. They're talking to them, not just the way they talk to regular people about doing better. I can imagine how they talk to loved ones. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just imagine how Wallow really talks to little cousins or people that was always the way he's a motivational person like that.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't,
Right.
I can see it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
And all these people that I'm talking about, they talk that's why I said they're the chosen ones.
Okay.
Because even if they're
I just wanted you to just break that down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Unpack that all the way. Like,
because
yo, it's
people
not
are
based on the
looking-
wealth. You know what I mean?
look- right. Look-
Alone.
Alone. No.
Right.
But that's why I say wealth comes in different forms. See,
Oh, shit.
that's
Great
why
point.
I said
Great point. Awesome point.
wealth is to some people, success is just wealth.
Right.
Success, but what in success? I'm healthy. I don't want. I know I'm not a billionaire, but I can get anything I want.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
My family is healthy. I travel when I want. I
Yes.
eat whatever I want.
Yes.
To them, that's wealth. They ain't got to be a millionaire, billionaire, none of that.
Right.
It just works
Now,
for
to
them.
me, and I like what you're saying on that situation,
Right.
but when you have that person and they reinvest, because that's always a concept dealing with any kind of wealth. If you take it and you reinvest,
Right.
if you reinvest back into your family with saying, look, I'm not going to put $1 million in your pocket.
Yeah.
I know you look at me, a big cousin, your uncle, your father, whoever this is, your nephew, or whatever the case may be. What I am going to do is I'm going to show you that there's multiple ways for you to be able to get better.
Right.
Just in life. Because you may not be ready to work. Everybody who wants that level of wealth may not be prepared for it. But they all need some kind of guidance. Guidance is that thing that it just, it keeps you in line. It just keeps you from going off into the gutter, so to speak, using bowling as an analogy. But it just keeps you moving forward and saying, yo, I appreciate that, because your words are definitely powerful when you have accomplished the things that people look at and admire, right? They are. If you turn around and you say, look, cuz I'm going to show you how I'm going to go in and I'm going to put this bread here. I'm going to show you. Watch what I do with this piece of money. Watch what I do with it. It's up to you if you want to do some of the things, and I'll explain that situation to you. They take that same practice. Maybe they don't have the same money, but that same practice.
There you go.
And they take that and they have a high level of success, and then they reinvest back
There you
into
go.
it. I get it. That's when you are truly limitless.
Perfect
That's
example.
when you start to make adjustments.
Perfect example. On the great special, Dave Chappelle special that's on Netflix.
I enjoyed
Let's
it.
go ahead
And I don't
great
watch a lot of comedy specials.
You know
I
what
told
I mean?
you that.
Um,
But Dave is a special comedian anyway.
he explained when he was hanging out with T.I.
Yep.
Remember that part when he explained when he was hanging out with T.I.?
Yep.
And they was but then he was writing. He said the people was selling water,
Yeah, they call them water boys.
and they ran up on the car, and he said, "Oh, no, first of all, don't run up on nobody like that.
That
Be
was
nice,
funny.
This and this and that. Blah, blah."
Absolutely.
And then he said, "Oh, okay, thanks T.I." And he put his hand out to get money, and T.I. said, "Already, already done gave you the game." Because that's more important sometimes than money in that situation.
Yeah. But we live in a world where instant gratification.
Because if you ain't got the game, the money
Right.
you're gonna blow the money anyway.
That's the difference between, you know what I mean, you give a man a fish,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, versus, teaching a man to fish.
You teach a man to fish, you eat it for a
Right.
lifetime.
And he can feed others.
Uh-huh.
But I just give you a fish, there's only enough fish for you. So the reality of it is once again, every one of these examples that we're using is that they're telling you, look, stop limiting yourself.
Yeah.
You're being very limited.
Yeah.
I want you to get past the limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, then you can turn around, win, be successful, reinvest, and guess what? We move more and more limits off. So no matter how good it is, there's greatness that's still there.
I love moments when I could teach somebody something.
Absolutely.
I love moments when people ask me for advice. And what I do is, and it's a lot of moments, I come across a lot of them.
Absolutely.
And then I realize at those moments, and it's about to be crazy how I say this, but no, this is really how I feel. And I realize at those moments when I'm done, they said, thanks, E. And I'll be like, and that's why I call myself Mr. Influential. Because
Absolutely.
I don't have to be all over social media and be the main influencer and to power to all the people who do that. But the people that really want my information is all that matters anyway. And when they want it, and I give them that information, and they apply and they think, it really makes me feel like
It's usually no
influential.
bad. It's usually no bad investment
Right.
when it's from the heart.
Yep. That's it.
I want to ask you some questions. Can we do that?
Yeah. What kind?
So literally, I want to ask you some questions, and it's not a this or that. It's more.
These pondering points.
They're more.
Just made that
What
up.
questions?
What
Just call them what? Just what
okay.
questions?
Well, what?
So go ahead, brother, and let the introduction
Mm.
fly. Just a series of questions.
Serious questions. They're like what questions?
So it's a
as people
series.
say. It's a series
Of questions,
of questions.
whether they're serious or not.
I said. I thought I said serious. I said serious.
You say serious most times. You know what I mean? What?
So you saying I don't know how to say series?
No. You saying that? I didn't say that.
No, I'm
just
I say
thinking-
serious when I say
You
when I'm
say serious most times. I do think you're capable of saying a series
what I'm
of
saying.
questions.
No, what I'm saying. Hold on. When I'm supposed to be saying series, I'll be saying serious. I'm asking you.
You just asked me that same question a few minutes ago.
No,
I
that's
told
what I'm
you,
saying. Yeah, most
more
always-
often. Hey, what's going on, man?
No, I didn't realize you answered the
More often
question.
than not,
Nah,
you
I
have
s-
been saying serious as opposed to serious.
I get that's funny as hell. I didn't even
Okay.
notice it. That's what I'm saying.
All
A
right.
series of questions.
There you go. There you go. I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the best thing you've got going on in your life at the moment? What's the best thing you got going on in your life at the
Health.
moment? Okay. That's the best thing you got going on in life right now?
One, but I'm going to always put that first because I don't care what else is going on. If I don't feel good, it ain't working for me. I
Okay.
got to feel good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're actively doing things to make that right now the most.
Majority of the time, yeah. I mean, I'm still,
Okay.
but besides that, if you saying what's the best thing going on in life, a happy marriage.
Okay. Great. If I had to answer that question, I'm gonna say the best thing going on for me right now in this moment is a new found appreciation for my abilities. And
So-
and it leading to what I think is going to be a very fruitful situation.
Okay. So I like the question the question you asked. I would have answered it more like that. But you know how our minds is just broad of everything because it's the best thing that's going on in life.
Mhm.
Now, outside, I would have probably said outside of that. So let's go outside of that.
Okay.
My answer there.
Mhm.
Honestly, embracing this calm confidence within myself.
Okay.
It's not like I really ever really cared about what others think, right? But I'm starting to come into that place of I see how the old heads when they grew up, like, and they just got to that point. Oh yeah, man, I don't have to have that like I used to have that. Meaning like, damn man, they got the new J's out right there.
Okay.
Which I need every pair of them now. Like I not
Right.
only them get every color that you know what I mean. I used to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like Jordans, and I still might
Okay.
buy the sneakers. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is I had to have it.
So that's the best thing you got going on in your life right at this moment?
Coming to this, because I'm this. It's just part of it. You know what I mean? But I say this calm confidence, believing that I can do anything I want to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I said. That's what led me to that. I'm just saying. But before, it wasn't like I never thought of that. But at the same time, I thought I kind of might have paid attention to what people thought a little bit and didn't realize that I did.
Okay.
Because I felt like I had to have these things, not just because I liked it,
Okay.
but I was like, now I'm known for that.
Mm-hmm.
I got to keep up with that.
Mm-hmm.
That shit never mattered.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Like I said, right now, tapping into
greatness.
my greatness, obviously, but a skill set that I believe is going to be very fruitful. That's the
It is.
the best thing I got going
You're
right now.
on fire. You're on fire right now, bro. And that's really what it is.
But that's answering that question as of right now, you know what I mean? Like you said, the marriage thing and stuff like that, I've consistently worked on that.
Yeah, that's
over
what I'm
the
saying.
years.
That's why I said.
So I wanted something a little bit, beyond. Like you're gonna do that anyway,
Right,
Like,
yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So something that's for you.
That's what I just said.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I said
when you readdressed it,
yeah,
I'm like,
that calm confidence. Because I was watching a video the other day, and it was explaining how real wealth don't look how people think,
right.
and calm confidence is a trait.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I see myself. Where they was breaking down to some of the traits, like really, like I see myself like that nowadays. Where I wasn't far off, but my mentality, it's kind of hard to explain, but I just know how I feel. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all.
All right. So what incredibly common thing have you never done?
Incredibly common thing that I've never done. Damn, right off head, off the top of the head like that. Right off head, balls. That was crazy. Right off the top.
I got you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
got you.
Right. That's pause.
You might have knew.
Yeah.
Maybe your mind would have been blown. And now you know.
Nah.
What incredibly common thing.
Common thing. It's hard to pick something that
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you ain't say something in particular.
that I've never done.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you didn't say what you said to me the other day. I thought I was laughing. I said, "Nah, you're right." You realize that you aren't regular. Like you're not normal. Like so common things, in my opinion, common people do common things. Yeah. And when you said what you said to me the other day,
I realized what I said the other day was I realized I wasn't supposed to be a regular person.
Right. So it's probably hard for you to figure out what the common thing is.
Because I've always did what I wanted to do.
Because you're not a common person.
Yeah.
So I can understand you kind of not having one.
Coming up, bro, I've always did whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah. But if you got to venture into it, general common thing that you see, a bunch of people do, have told you about, have experienced, that you just have never done. For whatever reason you didn't do it is whatever it is.
I don't know, man. It's not easy for me to think about.
I like the questions like they're a little bit different. They're kind of
about you?
So I'm be honest with you, I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you that just because I couldn't find one don't mean that you couldn't find one. You know what I mean? But common
for some people, and I'm not surprised that I didn't try it. You know what I mean? Powder is a common thing for some people. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved because I don't care for it.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Cause that ain't too bad on that one. Stumped on that one, y'all. We ain't had one for that one. What is taking you the longest to get good or decent at? What's in your life? Like what have you? Dang, I'm just getting good at this. I'm just getting decent at that.
I'm gonna say, no, that's not it.
You like these? Make you think a little different?
Yeah, I like them. Yeah, I like questions anyway. You know me. Just getting good at.
Yeah. And for those who listen, leave comments once again, man. What has taken you the longest to get good or decent at in your life at this point? Like you just got there. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm just. Not even so much I can't believe I'm just getting good at it, but you realize like, wow, it took me this long to get good at this.
So I can't.
I know for me, it's becoming more organized in terms of like financially, like I'm just getting good at, and I'm being transparent on that one, writing out bills and making my checklist on those certain things and managing those things a little bit differently. I was very lazy, being transparent. You know what I mean? My wife kind of like spearheaded a lot of those things, and I took my hands off the wheel with a lot of that. So for me, I can definitely say I finally, and it shouldn't have taken me this long to get good, or at least decent, at monitoring and managing my finances. Back to you. What do you got?
I can't answer, man. I don't, because you know why, bro? Even though I'm not supposed to be a regular person, my life has been my life for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
My regular 9 to 5, been there 25 plus. And I've been DJing 29 plus. And I still do them. So, you know, when I went to purchase my home some years back, and my guy that did my mortgages, if anybody need him, I got a great guy for you. Or just ask a question, I got you. Anyway, when he asked for my information, I gave it to him. You know, and how long I was doing certain things, basic questions. How long you been at your job? How long you lived with this? He was like, hey, you don't change a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, because I just work on what I have. You know me, bro. I stay consistent with things.
You're very consistent. Very
With things
consistent.
that I do. You know, things that I'm involved in, that I will be consistently grow. So to say all this time is making me decent or good at it, it's hard because I've been considered decent and good at the things I've been doing
Mm-hmm.
for a long time because I don't add too much new stuff. You know,
Okay.
even if you look at like us doing the podcast and those doing the podcast, me and you for 5 years.
Uh-huh.
I was on another one before that.
Mm-hmm.
I was on radio shows before that. So I've been doing this part for a long time.
Okay. So the fact that these questions I'm asking you, and it's not that this is like, oh, this is amazing. When these questions that are they're for you to answer about you.
Right.
If you can't answer them, then maybe these are things that you need to start looking at a little bit.
That's what it is. No, you're enlightening me right now. That's what
That's kind of
that's
like
what I'm
this whole
looking at, like,
conversation and this episode
so-
has kind of been about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with limits.
Yeah.
And but again, to surpass limits, you got to realize we set them all. We set our own limitations.
All the time.
So we have to come up with new goals and new things
Mhm.
to head towards that.
Mhm.
So not having answers are not necessarily a bad
No,
thing.
no. But what they
But
are good
what
for,
they do is
So-
spark
there you go. That's what I want. Yeah.
a reevaluation
There
of
you go.
yourself and say,
Yeah.
should I?
There you go.
For example, even when I stated with health,
Yeah.
I like what my health is, but I could do better.
Right. No,
You
I get
always
it.
can.
I get it. I
You
get
understand
it.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know, so you even being consistent in the areas that I said I'm being consistent in,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean I can't learn more about those areas because it's growth in every area.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next question. Maybe I'll make this one the last one.
okay,
Who's the most interesting person that you've ever met? That you've ever talked to? And what did y'all talk about?
most interesting person I've ever met.
And you had a chance to have a conversation with this person. And what did y'all talk about?
So I gotta flip the question a little bit
Okay.
because this kind
Fair
of
enough. Fair enough.
like outside of parents and things like that.
Yep.
and-
Yeah. Whoever you want to put in that particular
but
position.
not. I'm saying just take them. You want to take it
That's
away
cool.
from it.
Like you said, you flipping the question, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
because only because I'm if I answer your question directly, it's gonna be mom.
Okay.
Um,
And it still may be. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Like,
well, I
like
just use that, mom. And what was the question again?
who was the most interesting person? You said mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And what in that you talked to. I had to make sure I got that because you can meet people but never speak to them.
Mhm.
That you met, talked to, and what was the conversation about? Now, to me, mom, there's a plethora of knowledge. It's
Right.
kind of different. I don't want to take I don't want to take her out of the equation because it's your choice.
I'm gonna answer,
but I'm asking you to take her out of the
I'm gonna try to
equation.
answer it twice. No,
Okay, well,
I'm-
answer twice.
That's what I'm gonna
Even
try
better.
to do.
Even better. You gonna give me
Because the answer, because at first she's gonna always. First of all, the first answer to pop in your mind is always your real answer.
There you go. There you
So
go.
that's why I said mom, right?
Yep.
And what I mean about mom is because me and mom, I often tell people that mom was my true soulmate.
Yes.
See,
yes, you've
soulmate
explained
is
that.
not always
You've
a
explained it,
person
yep.
intimate. It's love and intimate, but not like
Yeah.
husband and wife.
Not from a sexuality perspective.
Yeah, right.
I got you.
So with that, because we had that type of energy and how well we knew each other,
Okay.
I could feel when it was off. It helped me learn how to read people and read things that I really like.
Mhm.
So because I held moms in such a high regard and pop the same way, they have no reason to lie to me when they're talking about certain things. They honestly feel that way.
So they were
right?
the most interesting.
Right. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
They're the most interesting. Because when they would do things like not want to fly, not want to swim, right? And this conversation just triggered why and the way I am with swimming, bro. I never thought about it until we was having this today. So when I said the fear part, it just popped in my mind, reminding me of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that makes them interesting is because I can, I'm a person of emotion. I can feel when I don't agree. Like when we said when Pop was in the bag, right? And I would say I won't have that same experience, but Mom would be the one telling the story. Pop ain't even really talk about the story. He'll say it here and there, but Mom was always the one telling the story because she would just sit and talk a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting because I'm listening to her trying to convince me to somewhat feel like her, but it taught me to be in my inner feeling to say this is why I'm saying it's interesting to me and say I don't feel that, so I'm gonna get on the plane myself. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
I sure do.
That's how it is now. Outside of her, most interesting person I met, and I'm only saying that I had to put her in not just because them both, not because they're my parents. I really felt because I took everything they said to me in.
Okay.
So it helped mold and prepare me, like we said, in life, right? But outside of that, it's not an easy answer. Most interesting person I've ever had a conversation with. And what did we talk about?
Yep.
It's not easy, bro. It's not easy. You know who you got? It's not easy for me.
The most interesting person, this is going to sound a little odd when I say it, is actually probably my youngest daughter. Thus far, life's still going on. Some people say, well, how is she the most interesting person? I'll explain that. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because there's an expectation that I have of her, and then there's the person she is. And so when I have conversations with her, there are certain things that she breaks down because she is of this time. It's a little bit different. When she explains certain things, I ask her conversation, what is 6'7"? I just asked her that question. What's the 6'7" thing? She laughed. To me, I'm interested because there's a whole concept of their world and their understanding that's different. For me, a person that's experienced life in the same time frame and stuff like me, it's not that they're not interesting, but we were introduced to things relatively at the same time. I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are of the world that I don't view the same way that you view. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because there's been certain things that she has said, and I go, that ain't true. And I go look it up, and guess what? Mm-hmm. It's true. Or it may be a concept of something that she explains from a different perspective. And even though she's younger, because I can't go back to being younger, I can't go and capture the thing that she's saying. Mm-hmm. So when she says it, I go, wow, it's interesting. And it sparks that thing like we was talking about before that makes you go, wow, I got to get back into the books. I got to start doing some more stuff and start really thinking about it. You know, kind of going back to my original question about, you know what I mean, preparing or delaying their dreams. When you start listening to them and talking about, wow. Because when you listen to your children, you start to find out things about yourself. So for me, that's what that does. I'm very interested in, like, how am I as a father? Let me see by asking someone who I am actually fathering. So it's a little bit different. So I know it seemed a little unorthodox in that situation, but as of now, that's who that person is. Yeah, there's been some different influential people in my life that I've met and had conversations with, or impactful people that have said certain things that go, wow, that's profound, but interesting. Mm-hmm. She's interesting. So that's that one. You can take us out of here on that one.
That was an episode of a series of questions. Yep. What questions? Like people call, we're going to call that what questions from now on, right here on the Porch Podcast. Do remember, you can hear this episode and all your favorite episodes of us on all your favorite podcast and streaming sites like iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Pete, tell them where they can see us at.
You can catch us each and every week right here on our YouTube channel at The Porch Podcast. If you have not done so already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share button, leave comments as we will entertain each and every last one of them. We would love to hear how you feel about the show as it helps us grow. This has been episode number 221 of your favorite podcast, the Porch Podcast. And as we say each and every week, we realize that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us and we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing y'all in the next one, which will be in 2026. Y'all be blessed, man. Happy New Year in advancement, man. And y'all go out to be impactful. All right, family? Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Who on the porch? Let's go.